And can Sydney really fire up in this second half? As Peter said, they capitulated against Carlton after a very even first term. Shaw on the end of this. Goes over the top to Krasiska from 60 metres. Floats it in towards Gavin Brown. And over the line.
Sandy Krasiska
plays on. Sorry, Don. And goal.
That was over the line.
I thought it was.
Well, I thought it was a point myself, but obviously the umpire's in the better position.
Well, Bernard Toohey didn't even attempt a mark. He stood there and watched and remonstrated. Let's have a look.
Well, as I was going to say, Krasiska is the loose man in the Collingwood back line.
Look at that. Look at Toohey didn't even... Well, Toohey thought it was a point.
Well, the goal has gone on the board. So a goal it is. And not the start that Sydney wanted, but ideal for Collingwood. Bolton loses it. Potter round his body, over the head of Kelly. Mackesy squeezed out and was holding on.
They paying the advantage?
Yes, to right. Wanted to go short. Not short enough. Mullane will clear. Going right across the face of goal. Craig Kelly pumps it over the centre. Manson read it beautifully. Oh, Big James sprints away. Inside 50. Let's have a look at his shot for goal. One behind.
That's where I'm a little worried about.
Got one a little high. Well, no one near Francis. And some very loose checking. From 40 metres, McGuan's kick. As he snuck it home, it's the margin. Favouring the Magpies. Looking at top spot on the ladder. Krasiska tries to get it out of the middle, but can't. Lewis does well to get it down to half forward. Potter, claim, looks for Henwood. Can he barge through? Got through one, couldn't do a second. Kelly, ridden into the ground. Play on is called, and Collingwood will get out of trouble. Richardson, into the centre. Barwick can kick a ball. Long and low, in towards half forward, and a good mark taken by Manson.
I thought he pulled Carroll down on that occasion. Carroll in front. Manson took the mark. We'll watch here on replay. Just prior to the ball coming down, I thought he just had hold of Carroll, Manson.
Manson going for his second. One behind. 29 points the margin. 14-19. 33 effective scoring shots to 19. Toohey. Right, down in front. Was he held? Richardson claimed him. And another bounce.
Bounce it half forward for Collingwood. They've moved Gavin Brown up the field away from Toohey, and he's done a lot better up there. Looks as though Kellett might be picking him up at the moment. There's a quick kick. Coming to the centre of the ground, Murphy and Mullane. Murphy all bumped very, very heavily. Hip and shoulder. He's down, Murphy. He's hurt. Might have hurt his shoulder there. Now, that should be holding the ball because he had time to get rid of it, Tony Shaw. Then Richardson, a quick kick to half forward. The bounce eludes Krasiska. Bolton off the ground. Here's Richardson, a greatly improved player, to full forward. And the mark has been taken there by Dennis Carroll. Murphy was hit very heavily with a hip and shoulder.
He's a tough player, isn't he, David Murphy? He's hurt, but he just waved the trainers away.
Carroll, Toohey. I think Toohey has almost been the Swans' best player. Really done a good job today, Bernard Toohey. The kick is to centre wing, and Bayes has been moved to the forward line. I think that's a good move. Bayes looking for Gareth John, and he's found him, and this kid is going to be a good player. Son of Graham John. He'd be a very proud man because 9 marks, that's a good effort for a youngster.
Remember, he played in the thirds this year.
John goes for the torpedo punt, and they take a mark. It hits the deck. Here's a chance for Lewis on the right foot. Won't quite make the distance. To Henwood. A very, very good mark, but it's going to be a difficult kick.
I don't think it'll be that difficult, Peter.
From the boundary line.
Oh, it won't be on the boundary line.
You wait, you'll have a look where he's taken. They'll line up at the centre of the goals. Now, will he go for the banana kick or the check side? Now, Collingwood have got it covered if he runs off to the left. He's going the drop punt. Look at this great camera shot of this from behind Wayne Henwood as he kicks and pops it through for a goal. So the big...
McEwen's Big League Bargains are real winners. Supporters are screaming for more.
23 points the margin. Plenty of time for Sydney if they're good enough. Monkhorst, Russell. The half forward, Wheeler, the juggler. Plays on. Swings round onto the right boot and kicks long towards Bays. Could have been held.
I can't see why the umpire didn't pay that. He was right in position there and saw Morwood actually hold Bays.
Play goes on. Right. Looked for Wheeler. Just caught him behind. It opens the door for Francis, who stabs in towards full forward. Manson couldn't take the mark, but he paddles it to Francis. Francis plays on to Banks. Banks centres it for Manson. James Manson will snap it goal and put it through. Quick reply.
Well, the good work there was done by Francis. Francis was the one who delivered the ball initially to Manson and then followed up well. Here he'll come into screen here. Tapped out by Manson across to Banks. Very awkward again, Manson, when he does get the ball, but he always manages to get his kick. And the big fellow, his second goal.
And good play by Dennis Banks. He could have blazed away himself, but did the team thing and went to the man in a better position in Manson. That all started from a bad bounce in the centre for the Swans. There's Steve Wright to half forward, Bays and Morwood. Bays gets it out. Good play by Morwood. He's a very strong player. Tony Shaw, hand pass wide. Mullane has got it. Good play by Mullane. Top play to Morwood. On the left foot to half forward. No mark to Gavin Brown. Goes in and gets it again. Brown to Russell. Cleverly off the ground. Steve Wright dives on top of it. Gives it to Carroll. Carroll on the left foot hooks it back to half forward. Henwood and Mullane. Henwood does the team thing. Tries to get it to Kelly. Kelly a hand pass. Finds Henwood again. Henwood back. He saw Bays out of the corner of his eye. And he marks. Oh, a late tackle. Is that 50 metres?
Would have been paid yesterday, Peter.
Well, it's been paid. I suppose Barwick had to make a legitimate attempt to try and stop it. It was a little bit late.
Actually, Peter, after Bays, he'll kick this goal. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the next centre bounce, because if you remember the last one, Monkhorst got really into the stomach of John. John still buckled over. He's vomited twice.
Goal to Bays, right through the middle.
Some people seem to have...
Well, let's hope the centre bounce tactics aren't like out there at Essendon yesterday with O'Dwyer and Madden.
Well, he copped a bad one in the stomach, John, and he's staying on the ground.
Well, we know where O'Dwyer learnt his tactics at Melbourne, of course.
From the middle. This is Morwood. To centre wing. Kosiska could have been interfered with. He was, said the umpire. Well, Graham John. Gareth John. Keep thinking of his father. Appears to be okay, and that's good news. McGuan to Monkhorst. Another one to Turner. Right in the middle. Long and low. To the half-forward line. Dacos got up high. No one waiting at the back over for Collingwood. Right. Over the top. Eustace may get there in time. Does. And gets a clever kick away too. Under pressure. Down towards the half-back line. Kept in play. Wheeler a chance here. Oh, fancy work by Wheeler. To right. Kelly can't take the half volley. Kosiska from McGuan. Mullane. Down to half forward. Morwood from behind. Can't take the mark. Right there with him.
He's a real tough little nut, Steve Wright. Boy from, well, he started his football, I think, with Oakley Districts. Is that right, Don? In the Federal League in Melbourne, and he's been a great player for the Swans. There's Morwood going towards Dacos, Callett. Mick Kennedy played a fantastic game on Peter Dacos. Bays from the side. Almost a mark to Kelly. Bad luck. Monkhorst. Gaper. Mick McGuan. A bad hand pass. looking for Gayfer, who dives on top. A great play, Gayfer. Oh, well smothered, the handball by Kelly on Mullane. Players diving on top of an umpire. Shane McDonald will come in and bounce. And the umpires today have been pretty good, Shane McDonald and Graham Fallett.
Couple of tough customers.
Edward and Mullane, how'd you like to meet them in a dark alley, Don?
No, I think I'll be a long way from the action, Peter.
On centre wing.
That's better. That's well done by the youngster.
John.
Yes.
Yes, Shaw now and Morwood combined. Manson on a lead. Well spoiled by Keller. Brown with pace. Over the top to Richardson. Takes him a little wider, but he's inside 50. Flicks it in towards Banks. Over the top, Wheeler. Snap it, goal smothered, and through eventually for one behind. A little bit of frustration there from Tony Francis. So Sydney fighting it out to the bitter end, but really unable to close the gap to any great extent. Henwood is the target here.
Strong mark. Good mark.
He's played well, hasn't he?
Oh, he's tried hard, Peter. He's playing at centre half forward and full forward.
Gives Gareth John a bit of time to get down to centre wing. Over the top came Kelly. Centres delightfully. Brown again. Krosiska outside 50. Plays on to McGuan, who's still outside 50. Takes his kick long towards Dacos at the back. Well, he's been relatively quiet today, Peter. Has kicked one goal, that was in the third term, but the chance now to add to that.
Well, when you've got to sit like that, there's nothing the back man can do.
And he makes no mistake.
I worked me guts out, but you
It's 12, which is 5 goals. Is Gareth John to Henwood to Eustace. Eustace the half-forward line. Bays and Morwood. That's who wins out here. Good play by Bays. That was brilliant play. He's swinging onto the left foot. Mark Bays, this will be a sensational goal. Oh, what fantastic play. You'll never see a better goal than that anywhere. Oh, that was fantastic play. 14-8-92 Sydney Swans. Collingwood 16-20, 116. 3 goals to Mark Bays. What do you think of that, Don?
Well, it's a fantastic effort when you consider the players he had to get around of, and naturally he was on his right kicking foot. But if my memory serves me correctly, early in the year was against Carlton. They moved Bays to centre half forward from the back line. It was at the first game of the year, and he turned the game there.
Back in the middle again. Sydney refusing to lie down. McGuan to half forward.
John got that hit out incidentally too, Sammy, so it's a good effort from the big fellow.
Tui to Murphy. Well, Murphy and Mullane have virtually just roved at will today, and both have picked up plenty of touches. Wright keeps it in this time. Sydney almost inside 50. Kelly, can he get clear to Eustace? Yes. Is this another one? Yes, it is.
A very slick hand pass is Gareth John against Monkhorst. Higgins, or fingertipper, couldn't quite grab it. Still should head for the boundary line, he should here. And that's good play. But, well...
It's 15 minutes still to play, Peter.
Yeah, plenty of time. It's slight chance to the Swans. They just can't afford to let Collingwood score the next goal, but at least we're seeing a great contest. They're really revved up. The Magpies really have had most of the players we saw from the stats earlier.
But the interesting thing about Collingwood, when they do get into this situation, they can always capitalise on the scoreboard but with a quick goal.
Yes, John and Manson. Manson down.
And Monkhorst going off for Collingwood. I think he's bringing himself off. They haven't got a reserve ready.
Well, Christian's coming back on the ground for the Magpies. And Damien Monkhorst off. I don't think he's too happy. Oh, he's not happy at all.
I don't think he is at all the way through the tracksuit.
He didn't take himself off, that's for sure.
That's for
Eustace over to Callett. Here come the Swans. Have they got anyone up forward? An ordinary kick. Bays, it beats him. Mullane and Gayfer. Gayfer almost brought down. The quick kick to half forward. Christian should mark. He can't do so. Courageous play by Bernard Tui. He's been sensational. over to Murphy. Murphy, one bounce. Now, will he try and get round Gafer? He does. Two bounces. Straightens up from 50 metres and sets sail for home with a long kick. Yes, West has marked, and that could be fit. Well, if he was knocked out of his hands after he marked,
should be put right on the boundary, on the goal line.
Well, technically that is 50 because he marked and then had a punch. Watch this. Now he marks, clear mark. Now look at this. Now that is 50-metre penalty, is it not? Now he hasn't been paid. So really, the umpire wrong there. He should run out to the right here. West from dead in front has missed and out of bounds on the Fuller point. It is 1 point. So, but really, that should have been the 50-metre penalty.
A very, very costly decision.
My word, but you start to get the feeling that Sydney could come back into this. It's a little bit like yesterday, Melbourne and Essendon.
So McEwen.
I'll still back the Magpies from here.
Straight down the middle. Good mark to Kelly. Wants to get on with it quickly to the wing. Bit of pushing and shoving going on there, but allowed to go on. Clever trap by Wheeler. Sydney looking dangerous. In towards half forward. Oh, at the back, Kelly. He'll go into the open goal. And back comes Sydney.
Tonight.
Points the margin after that brilliant piece of play by Wheeler. But Gareth John, a quick kick, lands with Richardson towards half forward. Dacos in front, almost a mark to Dacos, grabbed by Michael Kennedy. Out wide, Lewis in front. He's an impressive young player, this kid.
Doing well.
He is going to be a very good footballer. He's a great kick. And he directs this one wide. McEwen and West.
Oh.
West, oh, gee, they're playing with adrenaline now. The short...
Oh, the umpire, he's down.
The umpire got in the way when Bays was going to take
Bays
the
is
mark.
hurt too.
And Gafer loses it. Henwood. Henwood over the top. Steve Wright. Bolton. Will it sit? Bolton's got it. Hooks it, goal.
It's a goal.
It's a goal to the Swans. Oh, boy. They're coming back hard, and the umpire's still down.
The umpire's gone.
The umpire, they might have to use the emergency umpire here. That was a very heavy knock. Was it Shane McDonald? No, yes, it is Shane McDonald. After a collision with Bays. Bays was about to have a look at it again.
And Bays went down. He is hurt as well.
But most importantly, the scoreboard shows 5 points the margin. Collingwood leads. Can they hang on?
What do they do in this situation? Do they hold the game up? Because this would suit Collingwood, because Sydney have got a run on. Or does the umpire go straight off the ground? The emergency, is he warming up? The emergency umpire, no, we can't see him running around.
They have gone over to the bench now. But nothing has been done. Bolton has kicked 2 goals. And what a finish. They look gone.
Well, it's a vital game for Collingwood. Top spot at stake.
And they haven't won here since 1985.
11,722 fans here at the SCG, and they are getting their money's worth today.
11 minutes left to play.
And 5 points in it. From the centre, Manson charges Collingwood forward. They desperately want a steadying goal. Christian Court, play on his call. Push down towards the half-forward line. Bolton hammers wide. Manson claim. Oh, they've come to life now. Turner gets clear. Goes short and finds McGuan.
Actually, earlier McGuan infringed when running for that ball. I think it was Bolton in front of him. He held Bolton. The umpires seem to let a lot of those infringements go when guys are running for the ball.
Michael McGuan, a chance to steady things down. It has been a frantic burst by Sydney. Goals from Bays, Bolton, Henwood and Kelly. To the boos of the Sydney fans, he shoots and he goals.
Absolutely electric. 11 points the margin. Who'll get the next goal? Magpies. Through Alan Richardson towards centre wing, the punch on. Stephen Wright punches it further afield. Good play by Kelly. Finds Mullane, the short one is on. Beautiful pass to Tony Francis. Francis, another short one. Bolton chips in. It's Grisiska. Handballs in after it. Oh, Tui.
umpires too.
Was that a free kick?
Oh, the umpire is too far away from the action. He was over near centre half back on that occasion.
Well, Tui has been a great player for the Swans today, no doubt about that. The Magpies with top spot at stake. They lead by 11 points. Tons of time, just under 10 minutes of play left. Who'll get the next goal? There's Tui again. Back it comes, Mullane. Waiting for it is Eustace. A quick kick. There's only two men there. One of them was Manson. Manson short. Tony Shaw. Good play to Russell. Russell hooks it up in front of goal. Wheeler and Banks. Wheeler using the body. Banks off the ground. It rolls towards goal. Callett. Oh, he's in trouble against Christian, but Callett goes short looking for Wheeler. Will he get the run of it? He can. Now will it bounce for him? He's played a great second half, Matthew Wheeler. The kick is smothered, and over the line it goes half forward for the Magpies. Dennis Banks has worked hard all day.
In Collingwood's attacking zone. Just over 9 minutes remaining. Wright could have been held. Richardson working hard for Collingwood. Wright out of trouble for Sydney. Oh, they've got a chance here. Lewis, he's a lovely kicker. Kelly, directly in front. He shoots and he goes. They will not lie down.
Dacos on the ball.
Well, that's not before time. Manson against Gareth John. Manson to ground. Scott Russell. Richardson. To full forward, Tony Francis runs in the goal. Oh, it's a goal, I think. I think Francis missed it. I think it's a goal to the kicker up the field.
Having the ability to answer every challenge. Richardson at the bottom. Still in the middle. And another bounce. Well, what a great finish this has been.
Top game now.
It has developed into that peak. Sun out over the SCG. Brown sends Collingwood to half forward. Christian spoilt by Kellett. Pushed wide. Eustace could be first to it. He may leave it for Higgins, who soccers wide. Eustace does the shepherding work, but he gets closed in on. And does well to give it to Carroll. Back towards half forward. Henwood. Oh! A couple of Collingwood boys collided. It opens the door for Murphy. He wants to give it away. He does to West. 40 metres out. Shoots towards goal. And has put it through.
Collingwood reply every time the Swans have. Dacos goes to ground. Socket off the ground by Mullane. Eustace and Manson. Manson too big. And every time it's been this situation, Collingwood have got a goal. Scott Russell to the pocket. Wheeler and Banks. Desperate play by Wheeler to punch it over the line.
The athleticism of Wheeler is simply incredible. I just hope he doesn't fall in the bad habit of running behind each time. He's running behind now, but he can get away with it because of his athleticism.
Sydney have kicked 8 goals for the quarter.
6.5 minutes of play left as Eustace crashes his way through the pack. And it'll be a throw-in forward pocket for the Magpies.
Russell doing particularly well around the centre of the ground for Collingwood.
Lewis gets it away. Down to the half-back line. Another throw-in.
Still 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left, 5-6 minutes left now. Plenty of time.
Just under 6, Don. Christian over the top. Francisco out in front. Does it sit? No. Kennedy can't take it. Francis a chance. Francis snaps and goes. The Maggies answer back. The high fives go up and Collingwood score their 19th. Francis scores his 3rd. And again, the margin is 11 points.
Well, he's a dangerous little customer, Francis. He chipped the ball out there and then ran onto it really well. Took it across his body. His second goal for a quarter. In fact, he's kicked 3 for the game now. Sydney have got to get it out of the centre now. They haven't been too good in doing it recently.
Top goal led by Tony Francis. He did it at both ends. The ball smothered. Who'll get the loose one? All's thrown out. Yes. So can the Swans get the next goal? Every time it's got to 11 points, the Swans have got one. Then Collingwood reply over to Bolton. Oh, slow to get rid of it. That's bad play by the Swans. This will cost them. Alan Richardson to half forward. Callett, was he held? The umpire said yes.
Now, I think Callett also had hold of Christian.
I think so. Callett from half back goes wide. He's got a man there, Gareth John, dreadfully tired. Tap down to Mullane. Mullane, very, very fit. Tony Shaw, that could be holding the ball, I think. Yes.
Oh, that's red hot, isn't it? He really couldn't get rid of the ball on that occasion, Shaw.
Well, who is this? It looks like Lloyd from the centre of the ground to the half-forward line. Mackesy are into the back of the Collingwood player. Was a poor effort by Mackesy under this situation. He had no intention on the ball then as the free kick to Mullane.
Gee, they've had their chances, Sydney. Darren Mullane, the steady.
Strong mark. That's why he's a good mark, Brown.
He's a great mark, Gavin Brown, isn't he? Because Tui has been fantastic, and so has Gavin Brown.
That was just a one-grab mark. And he certainly earned that.
On the defensive side of centre, Brown. Banks high from behind. Sydney have the numbers in front. Lloyd to right. Floats it in towards Mackesy, who was the meat in the sandwich. McEwen and Kelly. And another throw in. Sydney want the next one. If the Maggies get it, it could seal it for them. Henwood with a roundhouse right.
A big moose. Been a good player.
Yep.
Oh, it's been a great game, really. They've full marks to both sides.
He's gained them 20 metres. Well, that throw-in drops very short. Morwood to Shaw. Wheeler over the top to Spoil. Morwood follows it down and picks it up beautifully. Gets it across to Brown. Dummies well. Centres to Barwick and Shaw. They're both running. Dougie could kick it from here. No, unselfish play. Beautiful to Christian. Saw him there on his own.
Well, Callett was caught out on that occasion. He went down the ground. Christian, his immediate opponent, in the goal square by himself. And what a beautiful kick of the football is Doug Barwick.
Michael Christian can seal it for the Magpies. He goals.
It's in the game. Just under 3 minutes left. Let's see if the Swans have got Gareth John absolutely exhausted. In the centre, there's Bolton held to him. And they go to ground. And full marks to the Swans. They did not throw in the towel. They've come back at Collingwood when Collingwood were doing it on the bit. Collingwood certainly in possessions have been well ahead of the Swans today. Let's see if they can even score another couple. The Swans, this is Steve Wright. Oh, he's being hotly pressed here. He's brought the ground, gives it to Eustace. Eustace taps it on. Grabbed by Brown, good smother Bolton. Henwood cleverly over the back. Lloyd, oh, he should have grabbed it instead of trying to tap it on, but he's still going, Lloyd. He's lost it. Good play, Morwood, as he got it further afield. This is Banks. Banks hooking it back. Christian and Dacos. And Dacos marks. Dacos has kicked two. He's been well held today by Michael Kennedy, but you can't keep him down all day. He's too good. And that was an excellent mark as Dacos, sorry, Don, the kick. It's close. It's a goal. Peter Dacos kicks his third. They've got the game won, the Magpies, 21-20 to Sydney 19-9.
Well, the beauty about Collingwood, especially in this last quarter, is their composure under pressure. And it has been a delight that the fellows have responded. The backmen haven't got rattled. Their skill level hasn't deteriorated. And they're showing a lot of intensity. They want top place.
And it looks as though they're going to get it. From the middle, Bolton and Wright couldn't take it. Off the head of Russell. Wright again. Still working hard in the clinches. Mullane. Well tackled. Ball spills free. A chance for Murphy. Goes over his head and taken away to the half-back line. And Murphy didn't appreciate some treatment by Barwick. This is Brown, however, across to McGuan, and they steady it down.
Barwick now on half-back flank. I said earlier, he came from the back pocket. Turner's in the back pocket.
McGuan in no rush towards Christian. Banks waiting down in front, but Claim. Russell quickly out to Barwick. He too is pushed to the ground. Wheeler from Bolton. Across the centre. Bays sneaks away from Gaffer and stabs in towards full forward, but McEwen out in front of Mackesy.
Well done, McEwen. Took the bit between the teeth and backed himself.
They just lack a good forward, the Swans.
Richardson at half back. Morwood. A tired Bays is loath to give chase as he finds McGuan outside 50, and there's another good kick. Christian in the pocket.
Loose checking by Keller.
Plays on the left foot. Pulls it too far, one behind. So the Maggies will move to the top. Tui brings it back into play and finds Carroll. There it is. Higgins is away, but victory goes to Collingwood. Well, a wonderful finish. Collingwood withstanding the storming run home by Sydney to win 21-21. 147. Sydney 19-9, 123 as Darren Mullane heads off the ground. So too Peter Dacos, and that young man will be delighted if he gets his autograph. Disappointment for Sydney because they threw everything at Collingwood in that final quarter, but it just wasn't enough. So the Magpies alone on top now. Tony Shaw congratulating 150-gamer Dennis Banks. Davids, Murphy and Bolton leave the ground. Jeff Slade also, and that gentleman will see no more action today at this ground. So just repeating the final score. Collingwood 21-21. Sydney 19-9. 123. 147 plays 123. Don?
Well, what an entertaining last quarter it was. Sydney really did come back.
It'll be a free kick to Brisbane.